realised over the years that I best like the thrillers in which less overt things create more fear and tension.
From my perspective, feels like a love story in the beginning, do you know? And then it slowly but surely becomes something horrific.
This poor girl, Molly, can't really tell what the truth is from one moment to the next, you know, as the movie unfolds.
I think because of what happened to her father a year previously, she associates the kind of the city life and the hustle and bustle and the kind of traffic with violence. She kind of takes the situation into her own hands and says she's going to get out of Dublin. The film opens with her starting this new life.
On the one hand, she's able to play that sense of confidence of a young woman in Ireland today, while at the same time, the vulnerability that lurks underneath because of things that have happened in her past.
He's a fairly average guy. I mean, he's average on every level almost. I mean, he's a normal, hard-working, loving person that's kind of put through exceptional circumstances and reacts in his own way to them.
Is he the guy who is on her side and is going to ultimately save her? Or is he the big bad wolf who's knocking on her door? You know, one of the things I realised when I met him the first time is that he has that capacity literally just in his eyes.
He's very strong and he's very much in control and he's a very strong personality. I think that's something she's lacking in at this particular time, and she's kind of maybe subconsciously looking for a stronger figure in her life, and he is that.
I don't think it's a lot to take on in any relationship, I suppose. You know, everybody comes with baggage, you know, and I mean, she has horrible things that have happened to her, and I suppose, you know, it doesn't necessarily affect her as a person, it's more things to deal with.
I think she has huge expectations of what this new country life is going to be, you know, and what it's going to entail. And she does expect a certain warmth and a kind of community that is lacking in the city probably, and, you know, a real kind of sense of knowing each other and security.
The housing boom here in Ireland and the fact that so many people were getting out of Dublin and buying houses in these peculiar sort of rural suburbs, I call them, you know, that they're mostly populated by commuters. So nobody actually kind of lives here really in a real community sense of the word. They sleep here and they go to work from here and come back, but there's very little sense of community.
I identify so much with what Molly is going through. The time you get your very first apartment or flat or your first house, and that wonderful world that you're going to create for yourself, and then suddenly it just starts to go a bit wrong. And then it just gets worse and your whole world starts to crumble and you really feel that, you know, this dream you'd created in your own head is shattered.
She has this old couple who have been kind of taking care of her since her father died, taking care of her as in letting her stay in their house. She moves away from them, but they keep reappearing and suspicion hangs over them.
The only person that she can trust in the village is Joe. He runs the hardware store and he puts her in touch with her brother, and Mossy arrives. But then we're never sure whether it is actually is Mossy or does Joe have an alter ego.
It's a sense of paranoia as well, and complicity, and that everybody is involved, and it all kind of snowballs. So it seems to be within a normal environment, but then slowly their relationship starts to deteriorate along with, I suppose, her state of mind.
If you have a good crew to make a film, then it will be a well-made film. So, you know, when you put that team together, they offer you all the ideas, they offer you all the look of the place, the design of it, the lighting, you know, and that's why I like working with people a second or a third time, is that they get used to translating what I say.
When we prepared the film with Jerry, we discussed about the approach of the story, the way we can shoot it, and the style. And at one point, the style is coming from the production side, because this film, because we have a low-budget film, we make obliged to make that very simple. Making simple sometimes we have make an advantage because we're obliged to make very strong decision about the style and the way it should seem.
What I wanted to do was to have a sort of feeling of things that were fragile and crushable and pieces of art that we got from an Irish artist called Danielle Sheehy, which are wire sculptures. They're kind of a little bit quirky, but at the same time there's just the idea that really they could be just crumpled up and destroyed so easily, and that in a way is what's happening to Molly.
If you have a good story and the team knows how to put it together, then it's very easy for the director after that.